performance as a country, faster than the rest of us. So there's a lot to learn. I have two rather burning questions myself to our speakers this morning. If you allow me, I will ask them directly, but put them together and ask you to be short in your answers so that we have enough time for our audience to come in with their ideas, and perhaps also people joining us via Twitter to place their question. My first question is, what is it? You have shown us amazing innovations. What is it in the culture, in the organizational culture of your companies, which allows you to be so innovative? And you mentioned creativity, for instance. That is my first question. The second question is, what is the single most important recommendation you have for us here as public authorities at European level or national level? What to do or what not to do? Peter, could we start with you?
Yeah, I mean, like it's a walking on water thing that, you know, like you have to have that kind of attitude and ambition. And I think that's again, there's no reason, you know, why we couldn't do anything, even in Europe. So I think that it's you know, I travel quite a bit, and I think that you can kind of like sense the kind of like eagerness, the hunger. If I go to China, if I go to Korea, and then, you know, like I come here to Brussels, there's a bit of a different like atmosphere and vibe. So so I think that in Europe we need to get our act together and kind of like start getting stuff done. So I think that again, you know, like why couldn't we teach 50 million kids to code in a week? I mean, there's like no reason why. So we need to set the ambition level much, much higher. And I think that's something that I think is the starting point for kind of like everything. But then, yeah, I'm a big believer in doing a lot of this through education. And when I talk about education, it's also then kind of like getting some cultural change going. So I think that's also something that we need to work on. But again, I think that it really boils down to kind of like attitude and ambition in the end. I think that's super important. If you don't get people kind of like engaged, nothing much will happen.
Very clear.
I was in a meeting the other day with Mark Andreessen, and he used the term permissionless environment, which I think is very, very important, that people just know that they can get on with it and they can try something, and it's totally okay if it doesn't work the first time, then you do it better and you do it again. And I think we're being squeezed from different angles here. You know, that is an American attitude, but it's also an attitude that I see when I travel to Africa. People use basic technology to transform their lives, and they just get on with it, and they just do it and they don't ask anybody. And I think that's absolutely, this is why they get stuff done. And I think this permissionless, on top of the fact that I totally believe that everything is based on the motivation and the attitude. If you believe you can do something, you'll end up getting it done.
Permissionless, walking on water. So we are starting a revolution here. Mr. Hong.
It's about time.
Yeah.
Well, Peter, since you're working in the public sector, and I just want to give you one very simple example. You know, infrastructure, especially network infrastructure, is so critical to bring the innovations for corporate level as well as personal level. You know, this is my personal experience. In order to order high-speed internet in home in Europe, it takes about 4 weeks. In United States, it takes about 5 days to 7 days. So let's say just 1 week. In Korea, it takes less than 20 hours. Okay, that's one data point. Another data point is the speed of that internet. If it's 1 in Europe, maybe roughly 3 to 5 in United States. I'm assuming the big populated cities in the United States. And in Korea, Seoul example, maybe it's 10. So 10 times faster. Okay. And also, you know, several tens of times of faster in installations. So, you know, I'm not necessarily saying that, you know, those internet infrastructure is the only component to bring the innovation. But it's a good example why, you know, some of the Asian countries, including Silicon Valley, he pointed out, are really leading in innovation, because the infrastructure can really provide, you know, those people who want to innovate. I think speed is really, really great component. Okay.
Very much. I entirely agree. Speed is of crucial importance. And our digital agenda, which is also a very ambitious project, perhaps, and needs more speed, and we concur with that analysis you just pointed out. Can I ask from the audience, who would like to raise a question? I see a lady there in the back, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marina. I come from Croatia, from school, and I have a question for Peter. What are the terms that you choose kids for this project? 50 million kids trying to learn how to IT and so on.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at how we did that together with Code.org in the US, I mean, we provided all of that for free. So it's all like, all the tools are available for the schools and the kids and the teachers and the parents to use for free. So that's again, I think it's a good model. So why not do the same in Europe? And I'm sure we can get kind of like a lot of companies here in Europe and kind of like around the world. I'm sure like Samsung will be happy to contribute to the project as well. So you know, again, and the thing is that we're not talking about you know, needing, you know, tens or hundreds of millions of euros to do something like that. I think that a lot of these tools are already freely available, so that's not like that. It's more about getting our act together and kind of like getting it done. So getting the people involved, you know, and getting the teachers, the kids engaged. And I think what was done kind of like during this 1 week in the US with Code.org and this Hour of Code, yeah, it's a good model, and there's no reason why we can't replicate that all over Europe. And we'll do it in like all the European languages and all that. I think that's, again, it's more about setting ambitious goals and going out doing it. Kind of like no reason again why we couldn't.
And do you come to school to motivate the kids sometimes or something like that? Like, I don't know, I'm from Rovio and I made the Angry Birds, you could do the same and something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I go to school all the time, but of course, I mean, I can't go and, you know, like meet with 50 million kids, you know, personally. And even if I get all of Rovio through that, it's going to take like, you know, a few hundred years. So again, I think that the kind of like the trick there, I mean, like if you look, and you can actually all go to code.org and check it out, but I mean, we had amazing videos, you know, Mark Zuckerberg showing kids how to code with Angry Birds. We had Bill Gates, we had Obama supporting it, whole bunch of people, you know, promoting that, and everybody kind of like getting together, getting it done. And again, I don't think that there's any reason why we can't do the exact same thing, you know, making it very easy for teachers to block 1 hour, you know, and then getting the kids, you know, online on that site, walking through, you know, a couple of exercises in getting kids introduced to coding. I mean, of course, we can't, you know, you will not become a coder in an hour. I mean, that's you know, like not possible. But again, like at least getting you know, kids introduced and interested in coding. And I should also say that it's not, you know, it's not that we want to make everybody a coder. You can actually, you know, you can learn a lot of logical thinking, but I think that's also very relevant for like the creative side. So again, you know, look at art and music and using coding there. So again, we're like kicking this off now, and as I said, you know, you're all invited to help, you know, participate in that. So it's not like we can do that all by ourselves. We need to kind of have everybody chip in.
So I think it's very clear. It's not a question of permission.
Yeah.
It's a question of leaders saying this is what should happen.
Yeah.
But also taking a
yeah.
look at what's already there. Yeah. There's a ton of phenomenal organizations out there and a ton of phenomenal tools. And oftentimes there's a hesitance to you know, adopt it, or if you know, you said you need to get to the teachers first. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, once the teachers embrace it and they work with these organizations around that can help them make kids entrepreneurs, you know, like I said before, Junior Achievement, Young Enterprise. There are kids that learn how to run companies, and we bring that to schools. So. You know, schools just need to be open. Some countries do a phenomenal job, and they do, you know, they have much better results in the end. So just take advantage of what's out there, I think is a first good step.
Yeah, and I think that maybe to add one more thing, that it's again like delivering a message to the teacher and the kids that it's okay, you know, this permission thing that, hey, you just go do it, you know, and then I think that it's just a question of leadership and setting the goals.
Also, Peter, quickly, Samsung at corporate level, we have a very dedicated, committed social shared value program, and each division in each country in this Europe, they have to find a way to, of course, spend some, the monetary fund to make a contribution to society, including, of course, education systems. And one good example is some of the government already working with our company to bring those smart devices and solutions to improve the education system as elementary school and up to the high school. So again, as some of the might be wondering, you can contact the Samsung Electronics, the headquarters in each country, and they have very dedicated fund and the program to improve the education systems together.
So two very important points. I think a lot is already there. We have fantastic examples, and there is, from the corporate side, possibility and commitment to support and help. I saw the gentleman here in the middle of the room.
Thank you. Kim Smelter. I am a managing director of New World Project, which is a non-profit which brings together kind of collaborative creative writing, role-playing, and different things to improve creative writing. The question I wanted to kind of ask you is that you have a sort of multi-million euro budget, you're a very recognized company, so you have a lot of easy access because you've already been successful. What's your advice for sort of small non-profits who find it actually very difficult to come talk to a school? The school says, okay, it sounds interesting, but where is your sort of 350-page document to prove that what you're proposing could actually work in our school? So kind of how do you deal with the barriers of actually not having the proven track record, which could actually perhaps create innovation, but because it's not proven innovation, nobody wants to take it up?
But I think nowadays it's a little bit of a different ballgame because you do have technology at your fingertips. And if you combine that with yourself, the human element, and you can go and demonstrate how this can drive a phenomenal benefit, you don't need the 300 pages that nobody's going to read in the first place. And if you have ideas that can scale, that can really go places, I think this is what we're looking for when we talk to agencies or non-profits or people that come to us with ideas. Is this something that we can make available, not just to change kids' lives in one school, but something we can take and then really fundamentally change the way we learn and get to 50 million, 100 million, all of those kids that have a right and to access and delivery of education.
Can I come back to this? What is it really that makes the difference between a proposal you get and you think, yes, it's good, but it's not something which energizes me, and a proposal from a small startup non-profit organization which really think goes places? What are the criteria for that?
Right. For us, again, it is, is this an idea that can travel? And we work with small agencies or non-profits and large ones. And I think 10 years back or so, we were more focusing on whether there's already a global footprint. Now, with everything sitting on the cloud, you can make it much easier to have the concept then spread and really serve many more people. So it's that idea. Is it really breakthrough, and is it something that tackles some of these big issues that we've outlined, and can it be scaled? That's a fundamental question, and this is why we're working with agencies that have really good ideas.
Is that the same for Samsung?
Well, Peter, I'm not sure I'm really best person to address that issue because I'm totally product and technology side of president. However, I understand that the corporate clearly recognize the education is number one critical issue in the society, but also the children. We want to make sure that when they use our product, they are the first. Our product will be their first product, so that they can continuously trust the level of our portfolio and from quality and the usage perspective. So again, our corporate has a strong program to address the issue, and I have to ask my colleague to address that. To represent that. I'm not the best person.
And for Rovio, are you getting lots of ideas how to make education fun?
Yeah.
And what is the distinctive criterion?
Yeah, but I think that, again, we try to stay true to our kind of like startup roots, and we work with a lot of other startups. And one of the things, for example, now what we've been doing on the gaming side, we have a program called Rovio Stars, where we actually publish kind of like third-party games, because for every Angry Birds there are hundreds of thousands of not so Angry Birds, not so successful games, and it's just because they can be very, very good games, but nobody knows about them. Because there are like hundreds of thousands of new ones created every year. Same thing, kind of like what we're doing now in the learning program, is that we'll publish third-party kind of like learning games, learning experiences. So we're only 850 people, so we know that we don't have kind of like all the talent, all the best people, obviously, working at Rovio, and we never will. And same thing, HP, 330,000 people. It's a lot, but still, there's a lot of talent outside. So I think that it's really about kind of bringing the whole ecosystem together and creating a model where it's very easy for kind of like everybody to contribute. So like in short, we love working with other startups, and I'm personally very, very active in kind of like startup ecosystems kind of like all over the planet, and wherever I go I always try to take some time to go and talk to kind of like university students. So as you mentioned in the beginning, Rovio started as a student project, actually out of a competition that I organized when I was working at HP, so it's a small world. But I think that also, I love the story of HP, because HP started in 1939, and that was actually what started the Silicon Valley. So it's again it all started by two guys in a garage. So it shows that two guys can have like a huge impact on the planet.
Thank you. I see question. We take now all questions together. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Thomas Arnold from DG Research. On the issue of businesses having to go social, just no option. So what if all companies went social? Would we have less palm forests, or less rainforests lost to palm tree plantations? Could we have less kids becoming obese as a result of eating unhealthy snacks and other junk food? Would we have less climate change? Could we have less risk of losing the bees as a result of, let's say, continuing to use toxic pesticides? So what would have to happen? What could we do? What would we have to do to get us there for betterment of our lives, societies, and the world? Thanks.
Thank you. Almost too good to be true. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Xavier Mounier, I understood, those were really interesting presentation. It has to do with corporate social responsibility. And we can appreciate that not all responses are fully public or should be fully public anymore, but we can also agree that not all responses should be fully private. And there was, for instance, a call for infrastructure from Samsung. So my question is whether the first corporate social responsibility should actually be to pay a decent amount of taxes so that, for instance, public authority can fund infrastructure you need or can take care of other parts of education. Just not to blame your companies particularly, but to get your views about it.
Taxation, please.
Hello, I'm Diana Fili from Junior Achievement Young Enterprise. Thank you everyone for the great speech. We all know that Europeans are very good at inventing things, but are usually the Americans or the Asians that end up marketing what the Europeans are inventing. So what can Europe do to really help grow all those ideas in Europe? And Peter, I think you are a very good example. What was in fact your secret behind your success? Because there are so many games that are inventing every day, but you've managed to really grow it very fast. And we've done a survey in our organizations, and we interviewed 10,000 young people across Europe. We asked them to name a few role models of entrepreneurs in their country. And it was sad to say that not many of them really knew local entrepreneurs. They were not able to name local European entrepreneurs. They knew a lot of Americans or big names that we all know, but what can we do to encourage more innovation in Europe and to really recognize the role models?
Thank you very much. Could you pass on the mic to the lady in the middle, please?
Anne Goldberg from Solvay Belgian chemical company. I have a general question about if we are targeting betterment of the society, what is especially the purpose of what we are doing? I'm thinking to what one Pyo has shown about Samsung. I mean, what is the purpose of having sensor on our body, on feeling about ourselves more and more? What is the purpose of getting everything done by robots or by machine? Don't we fear to have a kind of anesthesia about the external world? I will just give you a very simple example from my family. I was just driving my daughter to a party, and she was trying to get in contact with one of her friends who was inside the building, and she was just using her mobile phone, and I just knocked on the window to let her know that we were outside, because it was impossible. So I'm just questioning about what is the purpose.
Thank you. Right. We have a philosophical dimension and an important question, actually. What will it do for all of us? Because innovation is only a tool. It's not an aim in itself. Please.
Thank you for the great presentations. Peter, this is mainly for you. I was just wondering if we change games were life-changing. And just to let you know, I have some autistic children. We tried many apps for them to learn or something. They all failed. And then one day they saw me playing Angry Birds. So the elder son, he improved his motor skills by playing with Angry Birds. And now he actually has started learning physics because he plays Bad Piggies. So I'm just wondering if we could introduce such apps or games for actually special children, not only in the developed world, but also in the developing world where they don't have access to such stuff.
Yeah. But we get that kind of feedback every day. And we didn't kind of like plan the game that way, but that's how it works. So a lot from autistic children, so it's great to hear that it works. So.
And there is a point I'd like to make as well, is we, in Silicon Valley, we have a lot of the IT designers, and they spend an entire week with a school where there are a lot of autistic children, and they just learned how they perceive, how they express themselves, and they wrote specific applications for these kids, and it was really, totally changing the playing field for the children. So a lot of technology can be applied in a way that it's really, for the betterment and improving, the quality of life.
Okay, could we come? We have.
Should we answer the questions?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
I'm afraid we have only 3 more minutes. But could I ask you to come briefly to this question, which raised the question: how can we really do it? Is it really being a better life? What about taxation? And I think also important the question: what are the risks associated with it? If the rainforest, if we observe all the animals in the rainforest, there is a clear benefit, and it's not even about human privacy. But what does it do to the pristine, non-touched environment? So could you briefly, and I ask you to be, each of you, 1 minute, and we start with you, Mr. Hong, to summarize your ideas regarding these questions.
Okay, while I'm talking, I want you to open up the last slide of the second file that I will upload for you, the last page of that one, particular one. To address the question from the lady there, technology development cannot be the business objective. That's not the objective. We develop technology just to find out how this technology can be utilized to serve the consumer better, of course. And one example, this band device, it shows, time and the weather, but also we put some interesting features. For example, it's a pedometer. So it shows me I stepped 272 steps since this morning, and also how much energy I'm burning while I'm exercising. So we just develop technology to find some valuable experience that consumer can feel. If consumer does not want to, for some reason, then we have to figure out what is the optimum set of technology that we can offer to from consumer perspective. By the way, this chart, what it's showing is the highest level of award in our corporate, that is award of owner. So in each sector, at the end of the year, every year, the committee found who was the best innovator in each sector, R&D sector, design sector, and also marketing and marketing area, and also some special category too. So to make sure not only creating a good margin or profit, company more toward to recognizing innovator inside the corporate by awarding those people at the top level. And actually the prize is very, very prestigious. And they automatically get the promotion from one level to next level. Also financially it's really huge motivation too. So anyway, it's very strong way to encourage innovation in the corporate. I believe this is something that we really recommend to other companies as well.
Thanks. We know about the power of prizes. We will have in less than 2 hours the first ever European Capital of Innovation Prize being announced. That's also a reason why we have to hurry up. Gabi, can we continue with you?
Very quickly, on these devices, I think they'll get really interesting also when you go to the preventive medicine. And I've seen some of the devices that can really give early warning signs in terms of being a real candidate for a stroke or heart attack over the next day or two. And that's really where I think it will really help revolutionize. Whether I have done 10 steps or 20, I run every morning. I know I've done my bit. So it just depends on your personal utility. But as it goes into prevention, I think it'll get even more important. And then I think in terms of the role that people can play and companies can play, is we're not going to do away with all of the problems all at once, but if you bring what you do best, the stuff that you do, whether it's information technology, whether it's in foods, or whether it's in the gas or the oil industry, if you take a look at all of these, your environmental footprint and what you need to do, how technology can change the playing field, and you come together in the right type of partnerships, and everybody steps up as an individual and collectively, hell, I think, yes, we can make a difference. We can make a big difference, tremendously. So I'm very hopeful that with a different type of attitude that we can tackle a lot more problems more effectively going forward.
Peter?
Yeah, so I can't answer all the questions, but I think one of the things that I think is very important about the entrepreneurship and kind of like startups in Europe, we need to celebrate the success a lot more, and we need role models. And if I look at what's happening kind of like in Northern Europe right now, in Finland, in Sweden, Estonia, and all of that, is that there are a lot of successful startups. I mean, of course, ourselves, you have Supercell, Spotify, Skype a few years back, all of that, that there are role models, and because of that, the kids know that they can do the same, because somebody else has already done it. So I think that this is something that we need everywhere in Europe. You need to have the role models that you can see that it's possible. I was actually in Lisbon week before last, and I was asking some of the university students there what their plans are, and then they told me that they're going to move to America, and I was like, okay, why? Oh, because it's like better. And then it's like, and I think that it's something that, I mean, nothing against that, it's okay, you can move wherever you want, but I think that it's again that we need to show that you can actually create amazing companies even in Europe. And I mean, there's kind of like no reason why not. And we just need to get a lot better at celebrating the success. And also, I think that it's okay to have huge ambition. I think that this is again like something that we also need to do away with in Europe, that it's somehow people are kind of like afraid of being ambitious, because like you're supposed to be not so ambitious and not do like huge things. And I think that it's a lot to do with the culture. So I think that that's exactly as you found in your study. I mean, we need to fix that. And the best thing is again through role models and celebrating the success and kind of like being proud of what you achieve. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah. Super. I would like to thank you all very much. It was thank you for your fantastic speeches. Thank you for this message of hope. Thank you for this message of speed, that we can do it with permissionless attitude. And thank you for your ambition also for Europe. Yeah. And let's continue this discussion here or whenever we meet again. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Fantastic.